Hello and welcome to a timeless synchronicity reading for the MBTI of INFP. Welcome INFP. My name is Brandon Curtis Demery, and here at Entpgathering, I've created a space where members of the MBTI community can come and explore and learn about the connections between cognitive functions theory and astrology and numerology. I'll be using two decks today. The first, I'm going to draw three cards, and we're going to take a look at what energies are in your first three chakras. And I'm using the Synchronicity Oracle by Ethan Ilfeld. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And then we're going to pull some tarot, which will give us more details on what's going on with your astrology. What's going on with the planets and numerology in your life. Use this reading as an intuitive exercise so that you can better build your auxiliary function of extroverted intuition to recognize the synchronicities in this reading and as they occur in your life. Synchronicity is a term coined by Jung. And when he, the father of subconscious exploration, began exploring his own subconscious, he was able then to drop into his shadow functions, which for the INFP would be that of the ENFJ. The subconscious function stack of the INFP is that of the ESTJ, and the superego cognitive function stack of the INFP is that of the ISTP. So you are multifaceted. You are a complex, a creative, multifaceted individual. And these four cognitive function stacks reflect that. So I hope that you do your research on the other MBTI that I have mentioned that are related to the INFP, because this will give you insight on how to drop into your shadow functions. It'll give you insight into, okay, when I am overly stressed, I do move into that superego cognitive stack, and my behaviors, my communications usually, and my actions reflect that. And likewise, for the subconscious cognitive function stack of the INFP, that of the ESTJ, this is the MBTI that allows you to relax and reflect inwardly so that you can gain grounding to the deepest part of your psyche. And before I draw the cards, I'll just mention, because I didn't at the top, my reported type is that of the INTP, but my best fit type is that of the ENTP, hence the name Entpgathering. You can also find more information on my services, book me for a reading, and also in my store on my website, entpgathering.com. You may purchase packages where you and I will walk through the MBTI step 1 and step 2 to get a detailed, accurate reports, multi-page reports of your MBTI. This will serve you well when, with that same package that you purchased through my services in my shop on my website, we're going to work together and combine your astrology and your sacred numerology, which I will calculate. Once you finish the report, I'll receive the report. It's completely confidential. And then we'll book some time, at least an hour together, and talk about the connections between your MBTI, your own astrology, and your sacred numerology. This is something that I discovered on my own, drawing these connections as an ENTP does with their external environment. And I used that for myself to do a lot of transformational shadow work, which I call Plutonian transpersonal individuation. Let me say that again. Plutonian transpersonal individuation. This is the process of shadow work. It's a process of killing off parts of our ego that no longer serve us, so that we can drop into our shadow functions, retrieve the gifts that we were born into this life with, that had to lie dormant because of our early childhood upbringing. So although the connotation is of shadow work is a bit scary sounding, nothing could be further from the truth. Of course, our ego is there, our sun sign, our fire energy is there to protect us, and also bring joy to our lives. But it's also a place where, if not well balanced with the shadow self, we can generate a lot of anxiety and fear that gets in the way from tapping into our true selves. So without further ado, I'm going to pull 3 cards, and we'll start with the root chakra, then move on to the sacral and the solar plexus. These 3 first chakras are important to achieve balance in, because otherwise, if they're not balanced, then we can't elevate our energy to the heart space, to the throat space where we speak our truth. And then of course, we can't get to the third eye chakra and the crown, where our intuition fully thrives. So, all right, universe, okay? First card out in the root chakra. Root chakra is all about safety and security. Think Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's where fear and anxiety reside. But again, also that sense of comfort and security. Here we have a dream catcher, a key, an axe, and the eye of Ra or Horus. This is a 0. 0 is a number of the universe, of God energy, of creation. And with the dream catcher, the key, and this axe, I really feel that in your root chakra, you are tapping into some subconscious energy. In the sacral chakra, this is the place where creativity lives. It is the seat of creativity. It's also water energy, the element of water, which is feminine in nature. It is, again, highly creative. And it's also connected to the crown chakra. For when they are connected, this is where your intuition really peaks. Downloads, insight into both the inner and outer world is achieved when these 2 chakras are aligned. So the connecting image between the root chakra and your sacral chakra is, hello? This lotus flower blossoming. Regeneration. Coming from the mud, right? In the root chakra, this flower grows larger into the sacral chakra. And it definitely indicates a growing of creative energy that is very promising. Look, and in the largest image in your sacral chakra card, we have the figures of 2 people skeletons back to back within that circle. Oh, we got the handshake as well. I'm sensing ego death here, or maybe even a death occurred in the sacral chakra. Maybe you were attached to someone or some things that you've put an end to, I think here, and have decided to spark your own creativity, grow your own strengths and your beauty. That's lovely. Right. That's very FI, by the way. Introverted feeling is what you value, what you find beautiful. Although a rational function and a judging function, as an INFP, you're wildly creative in music, in the arts, writing, and able to identify the feelings and emotions associated with others. Virginia Woolf, an INFP. Isabel Myers, an INFP, who used FI as a means of putting together all those questions that comprise the MBTI today over decades. FI can be very scientific. Even with extroverted thinking as your inferior, this would indicate not a rejection, but a preference for very specific information that she used, Isabel Myers, to, again, create, edit, rewrite, restructure these questions, which are psychological opposites, not logical opposites, that comprise the MBTI. Her mother, Catherine Briggs, an INFJ, as was Carl Jung, an INFJ. Wow. Wow. INFP. This is gorgeous. Look, the lotus flower, the lotus blossom. I don't think I need to say much more other than there is a beautiful change, growth in your energy right now. Again, take only what resonates. If you're not feeling what I'm putting out, maybe it's because you're in that transitionary phase of killing off parts that no longer serve and growing into a more creative, intuitive self. The third chakra is the solar plexus. This is masculine fire energy. It is the energy that we exude, that people see us as, and also the energy that we feel that we're giving off. Beautiful. Pick this up here. Okay, now I'm going to use Chris Ann's the Tarot of Curious Creatures, which I love, and I think it's great for the INFP because you are so unique. That dominant function of FI is so beautiful. As an ENTP and INTP, I am like a moth to a flame when it comes to FI. So hi FI users, I am just so attracted to you. So amazing. FI can also be very individualistic, whereas FE, what I use, is much more about the collective. It's about how others feel. It's highly empathic. And I would say FI, the judging function, is when paired with your auxiliary function of extroverted intuition, is highly intuitive. Okay. I'm gonna pull some cards and we'll find out what's going on in more detail in each of your 7 chakras. And then I'm gonna pull 4 cards from this same deck and find out what's going on in each of your positions in your cognitive function stack. And see how this one will jump out. Root chakra, 10 of Wands, Sagittarius energy, fire energy. 10 is a number of completion. You might be a Sagittarius, you might be a Leo, you might be an Aries. But know that if you're not, everybody has Sagittarius energy in their astrological chart, in our energetic makeup. This is an example of how we are reflections of the universe. Here in this card, 10 of Wands, in the Curious Creatures deck, you see somebody who is carrying wands. Wands represent fire. Wands represent passion, creativity, business as well, and responsibility and resilience as well. So in your root chakra, there's been a lot of activity, maybe taking on a lot of responsibilities that you are about to put down. And with the lotus flowers, I would say you're putting these wands down, which can also represent people in your life. Again, responsibilities and connections, passions. You're putting them down, and you're no longer going to burden yourself with the energy of other people, concentrating on this growth that is occurring. This growth of individuality. It's really lovely. All right, in your sacral, what does the tarot have to say? Oh, this wants to pop out. The Chariot, card number 7. 7 and 11 are numbers of heaven, I always say, or the universe. This is a major arcana card. The tarot is comprised of 22 major arcana, which you may think of as chapters in the hero's journey, or lessons or energies that we all utilize as we walk our path, our true north path, through the individuation process, through the hero's journey. This is Cancerian energy, so water sign energy, and I like it here in the sacral chakra. So this is also, here we have the giraffe on a bicycle traveling. And we have the cat here, which indicates intuition, again, water. And the Chariot is Cancerian energy, and Cancer rules the 4th house in our zodiacal chart. And the moon also rules over the 4th house. So this is highly creative, intuitive. The 4th house is the place where we build our emotional home that we reside in, to give us comfort, to give us that feminine, nurturing energy that we all have inside of us. And I should also mention that here at Entpgathering, and with the shadow work that I've done, the individuation process is very much about marrying the masculine and feminine within each of us. You are traveling with the universe. You are traveling after putting down these responsibilities, maybe of other people and connections to other people, and really tapping into your intuition. You are growing. You are traveling spiritually and emotionally to, well, let's see, what place? Where are you going, INFP? All right, I'll take that. Ooh, Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, which happens to be the opposite house of Cancer. Here, 2 indicates change, polarity, contrast, and also decision. This is in your solar plexus, what you're giving off. So dropping the burdens and the responsibility you have with others, hopping in that chariot of the universe and traveling is you're giving off energy of transmutation, of change. This is great. Heart space. Heart space for the INFP. Knight of Swords. There's this is an omen. It must be. Knight of Swords. Fast-moving air energy. One of action. This is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy. And the Knight, so there are 22 major arcana cards, and there are 16 court cards of each element: fire, water, air, and earth. And there's a king and queen, a knight, and a page in each of the elements. So in your heart space, which I like the air in the heart space because the heart chakra is air energy. And you see here we have the horse, we have the camel on the bicycle. You are traveling, you are taking action and moving forward. See this? What, parakeet or some bird of kind, some curious creature, a beautiful curious creature on this horse, which represents freedom. And with that sword, which represents truth, clarity, and action. Lovely. Now, the chakra that works with the heart chakra best is the throat chakra. It's ruled by Taurus. And let's see what's in the throat chakra. All right, I'll take this. Judgment, Plutonian energy. The individuation process, the ego death process that I've developed is called Plutonian transpersonal individuation. Individuation was a term coined by Jung to describe his own ego death process. Here, judgment is literally the planet Pluto, which is rules the house of Scorpio, which is the 8th house. Scorpionic energy is water energy, it's fixed energy, and it is the house where it relates to sex, death, and transformation. Here with the Judgment card, Plutonian energy, think fiery phoenix, death and rebirth, transformation. And Pluto, the planet, is actually a binary system where its satellite, Charon, they have a very unique relationship. Pluto itself is about 18% the size of our moon, and its satellite is maybe a third the size of Pluto. Pluto is comprised of methane, ice, and Charon is comprised of hydrogen, ice. And because of their unique relationship, and the gravitational forces between the two, Charon, the satellite, actually expels hydrogen, ice, and it lands on Pluto. So this energy right now, oh, and I should mention too, Pluto, the United States is currently going through its Pluto return. You may have heard of the term in astrology of your Saturn return. This is the place where Saturn returns between the ages of 27 and 30. It returns to the place it was in the solar system in relation to the Earth at the time of your birth. So a Pluto return, so Saturn takes about 28 years to orbit around the sun. Pluto takes 248 years. So it is now in the place in the heavens where it was when our nation was founded. Pluto, again, is about transformation. So, I mean, it makes sense what's going on in the world, on the planet. It's not just for the United States. Everybody has a Pluto return. But for us, financial markets, especially after the pandemic, we've had to transform the way we live here down on Earth. A lot of things in our society, in our culture, are dying away and they're being replaced. I'm thinking of the entertainment industry as well. The financial markets and our economy undergoing major transformational change. And there is a threat of market collapse, but this will be for the better. Change isn't pleasant as it first occurs, right? But the more that one resists, and here I feel like INFP, you are not resisting. You are taking this transformational energy of Pluto and you're running with it and building something new for yourself inside. And as we know, as above, so below, as within, so without. The transformational change that you take inside is going to be reflected on the outside. That's why I think you've cut off a lot of the burdens of others and things outside of yourself because they no longer serve you. Certainly not going to aid the work that you're doing any longer. So, third eye chakra. Let's find out what's going on. 4 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy again. 4 is a number of the 4th house, which is Chariot, Cancer energy, and its opposite. 4 is here with the Pentacles. If 4 of, or the Chariot, or 4 of Cups, which is also Cancerian energy, 4th house energy, water energy, moon energy, is about intuition and building that internal emotional home, then 4 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, its opposite, would be the building of the home that is outside of the self. So this is finances and everything that you will consider to be security, safety, security. It can be a little bit obsessive, especially in these times financially. It is holding space for security and it is also, I'm looking at your cognitive functions. Thank you. So your inferior function, I'm picking up, this is extroverted thinking, right? We got to look out into our environment and see it for what it is. What is bringing us security? What is bringing us comfort? How can I use resources in a structured way to build and maintain a sense of security in the external environment? Crown chakra, Wheel of Fortune, my goodness, Major Arcana card. You have 3 out there. 3 is a number of creation. It's the first number that can create a pattern in numerology and in the universe. 3, 6, and 9 are transitional energies. And the Wheel of Fortune is all about karma, which the planet Pluto is delivering. Here in the crown, which connects to the solar the sacral, you have the Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune. You are well on your way and working with universal energy that is bringing you good karma, a change in your lifestyle, in your thinking, in your outlook. I'm not picking up any negative energy or bad karma that you're receiving at this time, because I think you've looked ahead, and you could foresee with this your extroverted intuition and your introverted feeling. You know that change is inevitable, and it was in your best interest to start the work of discernment, of knowing what energy is yours and what is not yours. And you put down the burdens and you're concentrating on yourself, and it's bringing you good energy and karma. This is lovely. All right, now let's find out what's going on specifically in each of your functions. So, FI. Can you show me FI? Your dominant function. What energy is going on there? Thank you. Six of Wands, success, fire energy. 6 is the number of the higher self. And this is specifically Leo energy, 5th house energy. So with all the talk about the 4th house being the emotional home that we create, 5th house is ruled by Leo. It's ruled by the sun. So you have both luminaries, the moon and the sun, in your reading. And right now you have fire. Oh, that makes sense. I was just typing somebody on my TikTok and equating and showing them how FI is very, no shade when I mean this comment to be a healthy trigger. That's part of the discernment process. This is the part of using your intuition, because you can safely come to these readings and be triggered by the cards, be triggered by what I say in a conscious context. So it's you know, it's not going to blindside you. It's not going to negatively trigger you in a way that maybe a comment or a communication from a loved one or a friend would. So 6 of Wands, Leo energy, 5th house of Leo, ruled by the sun, is all about the ego. It's about what we entertain into not only our thinking, but into our spirit. It's highly spiritual, or it can be. It's also the house that the entertainment industry is known for. So again, what we entertain into our skulls, into our hearts, into our body is 5th house energy. Here I'm picking up 6 again. Is if 5 is that of the ego, 2 legs, 2 arms, and the head. 5, that's ego. It's when we can add the torso and the heart. We're also adding the spleen, which is where our fear comes from. But adding that heart chakra creates we move into our heart chakra when we go from egoic 5 to a 6. And once we tap in here, because this is kind of the seat of our intuition. If we have our first 3 chakras aligned and they're balanced and they're functioning well, as yours are, then we can more easily tap into that heart space, which then further extends your energy. It raises your vibrations to your throat chakra, 3rd eye, and then crown. Beautiful. 6 of Wands. Good energy. So on my TikTok, I was typing 2 Leo suns and explaining how, and they were INFPs. Go figure. Well, I have figured. I've done all the research, and this is what I do. So take a look at my packages on my website, because I can definitely help. Oh my goodness! In your auxiliary function of extroverted intuition, King of Wands. Look at that lion. That's Leo energy. This is This is fantastic. This is powerful. The King of Wands is Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. And if I didn't mention, I think I did, everybody has masculine and feminine in them. Six of Wands is Leo energy. We have a feminine, what looks like a badger, maybe? Some sort of beautiful mammal there. And then we have the King of Wands. So your dominant and your auxiliary function are well balanced with that masculine and feminine. I love it. Okay, let's find out what's going on in your tertiary and inferior. Just wanted to pop out. I have to say too that when I work with my clients on this individuation process, this ego death process of change and rebirth, regeneration, I counsel my clients to remove any polarity from your third function of sensing. So rather than your INFP cognitive stack being FINESITE, keep that tertiary function open so that you can SE it sometimes. This will create, because 3, the third, is the place numerically, energetically, we can create change. And that's why at the MBTI company, and I'm an MBTI certified practitioner, also a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner, the MBTI company does not include a polarity, introverted or extroverted energy to that third function for a reason. And it's because you should keep that open and know that sometimes you don't want to introvert that sensing, you want to extrovert it. And with your dominant function being introverted, I mean, I've known many INFPs. They're like a flame to me, and I'm the moth because you're FI dominant. As an ENTP and an INTP, my reported type is INTP, ENTP is my best fit type. I don't use FI, but it's in my FE is in my third function. And through my ego death process, I realized that I needed to stop being, FE for me is very codependent or dependent, but FI is very independent. So I think that's why I'm so drawn to you INFPs. Okay, so in your tertiary position, you have 5 of Cups, Scorpionic energy. What was I just saying about 3 being a number that can create a pattern or change? Scorpionic energy is Plutonian energy. Pluto rules Scorpio, as does Mars, which is fire energy. It's masculine Aries energy. The planet Mars rules the first house and the 8th house. Mars is all about action and change and war and death as a result. So you are undergoing change. I couldn't find you can't make this stuff up. This is a synchronicity. It's not a coincidence that these cards have come out matched with what I am sharing with you in this intuitive exercise for you. All right, I'll take that. Wow, can't make this up. This is awesome. In your inferior function, you have Swords, which is all about thinking. It's air energy, it's communication. Here, this is Libra energy, which is the opposite sign of Aries and the house number 7 that comes right before house 8 of Scorpio. The 4 of Swords here indicates some mental, after all the work that you've been doing on your passions and the pentacles here, changing your external environment, your resources, I think it's well matched to be in the inferior position with the Four of Swords, because you are taking all these lessons and in a subconscious state, the ESTJ, you are reassessing and or resting all of the mental processes that you've been going through. With FI as a dominant function, that is a lot of mental processing, a lot of mental judging that is personal in nature. And 4 again relates to the 4th house, which is ruled by Cancer and intuition and the feminine energy. Libra is, although air energy is masculine, Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus also rules the sign of Taurus. So, bottom of the deck, which I always look at as an overview energy of all the cards out on the table, you have the Ace of Wands. All aces are given to you by the universe. Or you have co-created a new fresh start in your passions, in your creativity. You've manifested the changes that you are currently undergoing. And with karma on your side, with judgment on your side, you're in the Chariot, you have a nice balance of feminine and masculine energy about you. You have a nice balance of, you're not overly emotional right now, because I think whatever water energy, feminine energy, this transformative scorpionic water energy you have given it over to the universe here in the Chariot. So you're just flowing very nicely into the future and building and continuing to change your inward and outward environment. I hope you enjoyed this reading. It was a pleasure having you here. I hope you return. I hope you like this. Share it with your friends in the MBTI community. Let them know that I'm here to aid everyone with a better understanding of how you are not just your MBTI. That's just simply, your egoic preferences. You have about you other energies, and INFP, that these energies are accessible, they're flexible, to create the change in our lives that are necessary for spiritual evolution. An evolution and change within the egoic self. So check out my website. Please subscribe to the channel. I will have more timeless synchronicity readings for the INFP, as well as other readings related to astrology, the elements, and the signs. So, again, thank you, and I'll see you in the next reading.